At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger here, and we're going to start things off here with taking a look at the park fire. Here's the latest information coming in. This is the latest coming in from Watch Duty. Now, there are some conflicting reports coming in from CAL FIRE and Watch Duty. Now, according to Watch Duty, at last night, there is a report indicating that the park fire is now at 353,000 acres, 194. 353,194 acres as of last night. And what's even on the website at CAL FIRE is that it's just a little over 350,000. So a little conflicting reports there. But Watch Duty does indeed report that coming from CAL FIRE that it's over 353,000 acres. And from this morning, and this was literally just updated in the last, say, half hour or so, it's now from 10% containment to 12% containment. So really great news to hear that we are starting to see some better reports coming in from the park fire. And on top of that, over the last 24 hours, when we compare to when the fire first started to what we saw the last 24 hours, there has really not been a ton of activity coming in from the fire. So that is really also great news. In fact, I want to show you, this is coming from a satellite image, and what it does is it detects that heat signature. So this is a loop from through the day yesterday. Now take a look, and when it restarts again, there you can see it started off 2 nights ago, fairly active, but then through the day yesterday, you can see here, there it is, the sun is rising, that's yesterday. So most of the activity yesterday was on the north and east side of the fire. Then overnight tonight, you can see tonight, just didn't see a lot of activity, just a little bit of that glow right there coming on the east side of the fire. And then this morning, I mean, just a little bit of a flare up, looks like to the north of that. But that's what it looks like at the current hour when we look at the satellite image and the heat signature that's coming in from the fire. So that is really great news to kind of see. Again, it hasn't been quite as active. Now again, let's take you out to Watch Duty, and you can see here, I want to show you here, for those of you that may be new to Watch Duty, or you've been using Watch Duty but just didn't really quite understand, you have all these different fire icons in here. These fire icons are also an indicator of maybe how bad the fire is or if conditions have gotten better. So you can see right here where the park fire is, and of course to the east of that, the mill fire, they're still kind of full color fire icons. That tells you that it's, less than 50% containment. And I'm going to take you right here, I'm going to take you to a legend. So those full icons there that you see for the park fire and the mill fire, that's showing that it's less than 50% contained. However, when you see kind of a gray, but with a little bit of that color in there, that's more than 50%, more than 75% containment there, and then of course just an all gray is indicating 100% containment, and then also an inactive incident as well. So you can see, for example, the Shelley fire, we take a look at that legend, and that is saying that it's more than 50% contained. In fact, it's actually showing that it's more than 75% contained. Then we look at the Hill fire, and that's showing that it's more than 50% contained. So again, we're seeing some decent containment numbers coming in from the Shelley and Hill fires. But of course, we've got to get more, we'd like to see these get to more than 50% contained here, but they're not there just yet. So let's take a look at the Shelley fire real quickly here. And you can see as of 6:30 last night, 13 hours ago, latest update, 92% containment. It just keeps getting better and better at 15,520 acres. Let's take you down to the Hill fire, 7,224 acres at 53% containment. And the latest update was updated an hour ago. So that's fairly recent information coming in there. Of course, we take a look at the park fire, 353,194 acres at 12% containment. And we take you now over to the Smith and Mill fire, otherwise known as the Gold Complex. The Smith fire is, of course, it is 100% contained and no longer an active incident, as a matter of fact. And the Mill fire is at 20% containment at 2,962 acres. Now, this information hasn't come in since 19 hours ago, so it's obviously not a fire that is a top priority when we start seeing less and less numbers coming in and reports coming in from the fire. But that's kind of the latest coming in here for really all of the fires in the area. I want to check in with everybody this morning, see how you're doing. Here's kind of the format that we're gonna go with here this morning. And we're gonna kind of go over the fires themselves. We'll start going into distances from communities after we kind of go through the full report here. I wanted to just kind of, for those of you that want to get a latest update on the fires, you can come here, watch it from the beginning, and then if that's all you need, you're good to go. All right, so that's kind of how we're gonna do this. And then I'll start addressing some of your questions and the works, okay? So let's get to this now. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, let's just kind of get to the numbers. Oh, we just did that, and now we're going to take a look at. Boy, oh boy, there we go. That's what I need to do. So we're good there. All right, so we talked about that. We talked about the 12% containment. I want to show you some images here, and these are actually from not last night, but the night before. So these were from Friday night. Judy Pappendick sent in this fire from the fire, and this is coming in from East Red Bluff. This is also coming in from East Red Bluff. This is courtesy of Ona P. This again was Friday night. This was also Friday evening, sent in by Courtney Krueger on the Park Fire Highway 44. Right, and you can just see how that orange glow that we have. Now this, I want to thank Matthew Fuentes, of course, from American Door Company. Thank you so much, Matthew, for sending in this image here. And you can see here, this is coming in from Millville Plains. Now this was actually last night. And you can see still, even though the fire wasn't as active, you can still see there is still plenty of glow coming in from that fire. And you can see a nice, not a nice, but a big plume of smoke coming in there last night. And of course that glow kind of coming on the underside of those really what looks like a cloud, but of course the plume of smoke. By the way, if you want to send in your images, do so. I love to, please send in your pictures, fire pictures, anything, right? All you got to do is share those from the free Weather NorCal app. And from the free Weather NorCal app, you can then download or upload your pictures. That's going to be kind of the easiest way to do it. And that's easiest for me to get that information. By the way, if you're watching from the app but you want to see it on a bigger screen, it's really easy, folks. If you have an Amazon Fire Stick or a Roku, you can watch it on your big screen TV. Now, you can't interact, like if you were on Facebook, for example, or even on YouTube, but you can watch. You can have it on in the background. You can watch it on the big screen and get a bigger, better perspective of what you're watching. So go to your Roku device, search for Weather NorCal, and you'll be able to watch it on your big screen. Also, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, you can do the same. Now, if you have a smart TV, but you don't have a Roku or a Fire Stick, you can very easily on your smart TV just watch from the YouTube app on your TV. Just search for Weather NorCal YouTube channel, and you can watch the live streaming channel from there. And of course, you can watch the live streaming channel from your computer, desktop, or from your laptop. You can also watch it, of course, as I mentioned, on your phone from the free Weather NorCal app if you're watching from there. All right, let's take a look now at the latest fire tracker. This is looking at the satellite heat signatures. Now the color coding on here is important to take note, because when you're seeing the yellows, see the kind of those lighter shades of yellows? First of all, you see that little gray dot at the very bottom. That's where the fire started in Upper Bidwell Park, that little gray dot. Then you can see from just several days ago, the lighter shades of yellow. Then it starts getting into deeper yellow, then oranges, then reds. The red is the most recent data from the last 6 hours or so. So you can really see where most of the activity has been as far as the fire burning. And you can see a bit on the northwest side, northeast side, and on the east side as well. And it's really not a very big footprint when we're looking at the most recent data, which tells us again that there hasn't been a lot of activity. But where it's burning, it's still burning actually fairly hot. Okay? All right, let's take a look at, well, there you can kind of see some of the closer views there. But now we're going to take a look at the park fire one more time here at 353,194 acres, 12% containment. This is the latest fire perimeter coming in. This has actually not changed since last night. You can see it's at 42.3 miles from north to south to kind of give you an idea just how big this fire is. From west to east, it's 21.3 miles, kind of the longest distance. Obviously not quite as wide to the south or even to the north for that matter, but still giving you an idea on that. Let's take a look at some of the other fires out there. This is looking out at the Shelley fire. This is the latest fire containment as well at 89% contained, 15,520 acres. We take you down to the south here. You can see the Hill fire at 53% containment, 7,224 acres. The distance to these communities isn't changing. So if you've been following it here, you're not going to see those numbers change. We take you out to the Gold Complex. Smith Fire, as you know, has been 100% contained for the last couple of days. The Mill Fire at 2,962 acres, 20% containment. But keep in mind, this information for the Mill Fire is about 19 hours old. Again, no recent data has been coming in from those fires, so we're not seeing changes in the overall fire perimeters, which means the distances to these communities have not changed either. By the way, I want to remind you that Coffee with Krueger is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, what's going on here? What happened? At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the forecast smoke, and you can see here that most of it is off to the east. Now we're going to advance this in time. Oh, what happened? Shoot. I know what happened. Now we can go into it. There we go. There's a look at the forecast smoke, and you can see most of it's off to the east, and it really just kind of pushes to the north. You see how it kind of drifts a little bit into Redding, so mainly just kind of the hazy skies and probably some of that smell of smoke. It gets a little worse as we go into the evening, at least for the valley. And then again, the densest smoke will be to the north and northeast of the fire. There you can see around Bernie, Susanville, Chester, Alturas even getting in on some of that smoke as well. You can see it kind of backs off a little bit Monday morning, and then some of that haze kind of returning. You'll notice, though, that footprint of that really dense smoke is getting a little bit smaller, which is indicating that the forecast models are picking up on less activity here. All right, so here's what we have. The forecast winds. I've put the fire perimeter in there as a point of reference, at least the park fire, as a point of reference for you to see, just what we're looking at with the winds in relation to the fire. Now, notice noon, the winds are coming from south-southwest. So we're actually seeing a bit of a northeast wind now by the noon hour. Then we go into about 5 p.m., mainly looking at due north. Not much of that northwest wind that we've seen, but the winds are expected to pick up later this afternoon, which means we may see some flare-ups again coming in later. Then we take you into 10 p.m. on Sunday. That's, of course, tonight. The winds start to die down. Again, keep in mind, we think about 2 nights ago, the winds were very gusty still, even at 10 o'clock at night. One of the saving graces was the night before, so Friday night and Saturday night, the winds overnight just weren't that strong. And that's going to be the case here again going into tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, the winds will be fairly calm. They'll be from the south to the north, 5 p.m. on Monday. And then going into Monday night, Winds coming in from the southeast, so moving to the northwest a little bit, but not, again, as breezy as we've seen for some of the past nights. And then we go into Tuesday, the winds coming in from the south-southwest, so moving to the north-northeast by Tuesday. But look at that, even in the afternoon, the winds are not quite as strong on Tuesday, so conditions do look to be improving. Humidity levels, we're seeing good recovery. Now, when I say recovery, is usually in the overnight and early morning hours, we typically see the humidity levels go up. We want to see the humidity levels go up because it makes it easier for the firefighters. The fuels it's a little bit more difficult for the fuels to burn in higher humidity environments. So as we go into this afternoon, it drops back down into the teens. We go into tonight, tomorrow morning, again, some good recovery. Just take a focus really on Chico, and that's going to have the general vicinity. Now, as you start heading, into the higher elevations, places like Quincy, you're getting a better representation into the higher foothills and mountains where we're seeing drier conditions there, even in the morning. There you can see by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we're seeing it get very dry again. Humidity levels do increase, so we see some good recovery again Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, once again, in fact, it looks like it's going to be even drier. Now, one of the reasons for that is temperatures will start to go back up starting really tomorrow into Tuesday. As a result, we'll probably see those humidity levels begin to drop a little bit. So the fire weather risk takes into account temperature, humidity, and wind. Because conditions have been improving, this model has been projecting that the fire weather risk is actually within the moderate range. It does get a little bit higher tomorrow, and the reason being is the higher temperatures and the lower humidity levels in the afternoon. Tuesday, we are looking kind of more in that moderate to high range as well. Okay. We're going to kind of just stop it right here. Now that you've kind of seen the forecast, have an idea of the winds, we're going to stop it right here, and we're going to go into around the perimeter of the fire, and then kind of focus on some of the communities and take a look at some of the distances to the communities. But before we get to that, I wanted to see if I can address any questions that some of you may have. Now, Sierra, I believe it's Sierra Johnson, you're asking, do we know where the containment is? Unfortunately, no, I do not know where that containment is. But as soon as I find out, I will let you know. In fact, keep it right here on Facebook or wherever I'll post it on Facebook. Once I get that, I will draw the containment line on there, and then you will be able to see where that containment line is. But as of right now, no, I do not know that particular information. I'm going to see if I can find, if any of you know of a resource where we get that CAL FIRE map, the incident map early, let me know, because those are typically where I've only seen early access to those containment lines, is from the maps that CAL FIRE typically make. Otherwise, any online resource, you're not going to have those lines, is what I've noticed. But if there's something new out there that I haven't discovered, let me know. I think I may have been looking at some of the old information coming in. Let's see if the new chat's coming in here. Okay, looks like I had some issues with my chat. So we will just, if you had a question, or a comment, it is all coming in now, and I will see if I can even get that in here. There we go. Find post, that's good. Let me see here. There we go. It's showing 14, and I can go to view. That should be popping up here. That's an old one. That's an old one. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm not going to be able to pop them up on the screen. Something's kind of going on here. Let me try one more time. See if we can find posts. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to go to view. Now it should all begin to kind of pop up here. And Should start showing up. If it doesn't, then I can't show it on the screen here. All right. So again, if you asked a question earlier, ask it again, and it will pop up, and I'll be able to see it here. All right. Oh, looks like it all kind of came in, and now I've got all of them in here. 19 minutes ago. Let's just address everybody. Say good morning. We've got Martha. Let's do this. Let's get you all on here this morning. It's a Sunday. It's casual. It's relaxed. We're all enjoying our coffee. Let's put that on here. It should. Oh, there we go. Send. All right, now I can put it on here. Good morning. Good morning to Kimberly. Good morning to my buddy Kenny Elwood. How you doing this morning, Kenny? So glad you could join us this morning, getting the latest on the fires here. We've got Debbie Grierson Taverna saying good morning. Yesterday's air attacks was like the, let's see, we've got JM Carr. Blitzkrieg. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I guess maybe I'm just not getting the joke. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any other comments here. We got Butch Wolf, some of our regulars checking in this morning. Good morning to you, Butch. So glad you could join us. We have got Don Rolla saying, I'm new to Northern California. This was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. Came from Illinois. I pray for everyone. Great job, CAL FIRE. You guys rock. That is correct. Welcome to Northern California. Unfortunately, this is not the way we would like to welcome you, right? Bill Carlton saying good morning, not only to me, but to everyone. So there you go. Good morning to you, Bill Carlton. Thank you for chiming in this morning. We've got Pamela Thornton saying good morning. And Kyle Douglas saying, morning, big dog Mike. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, JF, your Blitzkrieg was the lightning air attacks. Oh, during World War II. All right, I got it. There you go. I guess history was actually not my best subject in school. So there you go. All right, tell you what. Again, I want you to, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to do that in the comments section, and I will be sure to address those as I can. All right, so let's, now that we're kind of looking at the fire perimeter, we can, I can just go in here raw, and we can start looking at information and data. Now, here's the thing. If I were to project, this is me just going off of what I've seen with the history of this fire. I would say that the south end right here, what we're looking at is possibly the containment line. I cannot tell you that for sure. Do not quote me on that. But we haven't seen any growth on this side of the fire. And one of the reasons being is the winds are blowing from south, have generally been blowing from south to north. So pushing the fire generally to the north, okay? Now again, it's been pushing to the north and west and to the north and east, but we haven't seen any progression southward since the fire started. Now on top of that, we're also probably not seeing any growth on this side of the fire because this is where the highest amount of population is. This is where we have all the communities, Chico, Paradise, Magalia, right? We've got a lot of communities to the south of the fire. So this is always going to be an area where they're going to really want to focus on getting those containment lines, those dozer lines, making sure that we protect the communities should the winds shift, and there'll be protection against or for these communities. That would be my guess. But just for the sake that we're here and we've got time and we're going to do it. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. I apologize. Let's get you back to it. Let's zoom it in here. Okay. Now that we're kind of in here and we've got these communities on here, let's take a look at the distances. Okay, so from this part of the fire here, from Chico proper, 4.2 miles. This part is about 4.8 miles. Paradise, you're at 5.7 miles, and Magalia about 6.7. Now, again, these numbers haven't really changed over the last couple of days. And that's because we haven't seen any growth on this side of the fire. All right, let's take you up north now, and you can see for the most part, this fire has stayed to the west of the highway here, Deer Creek Highway. There's a look at Forest Ranch. The fire perimeter has not changed much since yesterday. All right, so let's take a look at some of the distances to some of these streets. And I'm going to take you to the extreme far south here so we can get an idea. We've got Forest Ranch right here. I mean, that is literally within like 1/10 of a mile. Hartley Drive, 0.2. Clearcut Lane is 0.3. Scotty Lane is 0.5. Cody Lane is 0.5. And Heidi Way. Again, we're looking at the Forest Ranch community here. Tippy Toe Lane. And now we have English Lane, which is about 1/10 of a mile. Got to get these out here. We're going to move it up northward. Before we do that, within the fire perimeter is Tollgate Way. We've got Old Chico Canyon Road. Harris Wagon Road is within the fire perimeter. And I want you to remember, even if your street is within the fire perimeter, that doesn't mean that your home has burned down. Okay, that just means that the fire has burning around your house or whatever. But it's not always necessarily the case that every house has burned down. I mean, we've seen that time and again, right? Where a lot of homes burn down, but, you know, by the grace of God or whatever, some homes don't necessarily burn down. Ponderosa Way is within that fire perimeter. Misty Buck Road, we're kind of heading into the center of where all of this, where the fire perimeter is. So, of course, no big surprises here. Cohasset Road, North Cohasset Road, obviously. Maple Lane, Harvey Road, Villas Road, Musty Buck Road. So again, if you live in this area or you know of this area, you kind of know what we're looking at here. Let's take you back to Forest Ranch. And we're going to go kind of north of where we just were looking at a second ago. We're going to take you to, it's right there. It looks like South Nopal Avenue is just within that fire perimeter. Christina Drive is 0.3. Nameco Road, I believe is how it's pronounced. Shot Road, 1.2. Durr Road. Shot Road. Forest Ranch proper, at least where this icon is, about 1/2 mile. Forest Ranch Road. Stage Lane is about 1/10 of a mile. Cabot Place. South Forest Ranch Road, about 0.2 miles. The north end, it looks like, of Forest Ranch Road is within the fire perimeter. Berry Lane, Deer Creek Highway. So those of you that maybe live on Deer Ranch Road, let's zoom it in here nice and tight. It doesn't look like, I mean, there are some homes that are just right there. Very close to the actual fire perimeter. You've got Lower Lane, so just kind of give you some reference point. There are some of the homes that we might be seeing there. There's Tiger Lily Drive, which is, again, just outside of the fire perimeter. So the north end of Forest Ranch Road looks to be parts of the road are kind of, it looks like it's just kind of hugging the road there, but not necessarily hopping the road in most cases. So it looks like the homes are just outside of that fire perimeter. I mean, getting too close for comfort. Then, of course, you've got Deer Creek Highway. Ponderosa Way, where it ends, is kind of where the fire perimeter does end. You've got Sugar Pine Place just outside of it. Cabernet Way, let's get your measurement there, and it's about 1/2 mile from Cabernet Way. So now we're going to take you up to the north end of here. You've got Deer Trail, Headwaters Road on the east side of Deer Creek Highway, Home Place Loop, Headwaters Road, Catalyst Way, all of these on the east side. So again, if your home is on the east side of Deer Creek Highway and you live in Forest Ranch, know that you're guaranteed at this point that the fire perimeter is west of Deer Creek Highway, but not east. They've been able to prevent that from happening, from hopping Deer Creek Highway. So let's take you up north now, again, just kind of along Deer Creek Highway. And you can see now we're just kind of getting in some very rural areas. But what's not so rural and where there is some population, and we do know that some homes have been burned, unfortunately, in Paynes Creek. We're going to take a look at south of Paynes Creek, so south of Highway 36. You've got Plum Creek Road within the fire perimeter. South of that is Fletcher Trail. Plum Creek Road continues southward. So that's kind of, you know, a no-brainer that, of course, south of Highway 36. We've got Paynes Creek Loop south of Highway 36. In Paynes Creek proper, you've got Plum Creek, and of course some of the roads that kind of come off of Plum Creek are within it as well. We've got Paynes Creek Loop, which pretty much kind of runs, it looks like, parallel to that of Highway 36, at least the south side of it, and that continues to go. Now as we go to the north, it did hop to the north side of Highway 36 to Lanes Valley Road. Now no other streets here are popping up, but the main road does look to be Lanes Valley Road. It looks like where we start to see that fire perimeter stop, it's kind of right there at Vianet Lane. And then the north end of Lanes Valley Road is outside of that fire perimeter. To kind of give you an idea where that is kind of that intersection where Moulton Loop intersects with Lanes Valley Road. So Moulton Loop looks like it's kind of still within that fire perimeter as well, but there's that little sliver right there that isn't in the fire perimeter. Then you start heading north there, and you've got Oasis Springs Ranch Road within the fire perimeter. This is all just north of Highway 36, and then from there it is south of Highway 36. So as you go into Canyon View Loop north of Highway 36, it is outside of the fire perimeter as well as Ponderosa Way. Navian Road within it. Tramway Road is outside of that fire perimeter. Tramway Road to the south, Lionsville, all of that, all outside of that fire perimeter. All right. Let's take you to N Line. That is also outside of the fire perimeter. We're kind of, again, getting into a very rural area. Mineral, you are outside of the fire perimeter as well as Mill Creek. Let's take a look at some distances there. Mineral, this little fire sliver here is about 7.6 miles from you. Mill Creek, about 11.6. Childs Meadows, about 13.2 miles from that perimeter. All right, let's take you up to the north, and you can see the fire perimeter stops. Now there's a ridge line here, and I'm going to draw an image here. There's a ridge line right here that looks like that is where the fire perimeter ends. So to give you an idea, let's take that illustration out there. To give you an idea, the distance at this point to Manton proper is about 3.1 miles. What I want to do now is zoom in and get some streets in here. Powerhouse Road looks like Powerhouse Road just kind of keeps going south. So again, we're reaching a ridge line here where I don't think, at least based on the maps here, it looks like we have some homes right here. We see some pools, right? So that road there, I don't know what road that, it looks like that's Powerhouse Road. That goes to right about here. You look at the very center of your screen there, you'll see a structure. And then it looks like that's Powerhouse Road. To the south of that, it looks like there are some homes that are on the bottom. So you can see some homes right here. So if you're watching and you know that that's where your home is, let's take a look and see how close it is to where that fire perimeter is. It's at about, looks like it's just under a half a mile to these homes. There's that structure to the north of that, which is 0.7 miles. So we're still, I mean, that's still a distance away. You're about a 0.4 to a half a mile away from the fire perimeter. Now this is not exact. We have to keep that in mind. But we kind of go along the ridge line here, and let's see if there's any other homes within that ridge line. And I think I see some. It's kind of hard to tell. We're on the bottom side of that ridge line. I'm sure some great views up there, but unfortunately it is kind of close to the fire there. So just kind of give you an idea, that's what we're looking at here. Now, as we go into where there are more homes and communities, so for example, you've got, I'm not sure what road that is. It's not saying what it is, but you've got Deer Springs Road, for example, and Rolling Hills Road. Let's use it as a point of reference because we can't get close enough to where where they're in there. But oh shoot, hold on. There we go. We've got Forward Road and Manton Road. Let's zoom it out here. This is kind of the best we can do here when we're taking a look at some distances. So to Manton Road, we are about 2 miles from this part. Manton Road, Manton proper, 3 miles. Forward Road, about 3.5. Forward Road, about 3 miles. Rock Creek Road, it is about 4 miles. All right, let's zoom it out a little bit more, and we'll take you to Shingletown here and Viola. Now, I reported these yesterday because, again, this fire perimeter hasn't changed since yesterday. Shingletown, about 7 miles. Viola, about 12 miles. Now, just to double check, I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go into my source where the fire perimeter comes in. I'm going to do a quick refresh and see if there's a new fire perimeter. Let's see if it updates here. Doesn't look like it's changed as of 5:58. So yes, it's still the latest fire perimeter. We are still looking at the latest fire perimeter. So just wanted to make sure that we're using the right one. All right. Yes. So if someone asks a question and you happen to see it and you remember, you can answer those questions for me. So I thank you if you're helping others who might be asking me those questions. But I will get to your questions. Hang tight. I want to get through all of this and kind of get some general ones out of the way. And then if you have a particular street or a town or whatever you want, we'll take a look at that. There's a look at the town of Dales. That, of course, just kind of intersects with Manton Road. Let's take a look at that distance there. And that is at about 4.5 miles. Let's zoom out here because now we're kind of running along. Here is Highway 36. You've got Red Bluff, right? So from Dairyville, the fire is for about 5 miles. For Red Bluff, it is about 10.6 miles. I know this is for Judy if you're watching. I believe that's where you are. Looks like it's about 9 miles to 10 miles. It's good to know the meteorologist. You get some personalized information. But you all can also get that personalized information because all you got to do is ask, and I will do the best I can to address that question. Los Molinos is about about 6 miles. Let's see here. Yeah, about 6.5 miles. Okay. Let's take you south. And again, you see, this is Highway 99 that we're looking at. So it just runs parallel to Highway 99. Then, of course, we're getting back to where Chico is, right? And, of course, the airport, all of that stuff. Let's get to your questions. Let's see. See if I can get a bigger. All right, so I think the latest are on the top here. Yes, the latest are on the top. How far is the... Let's kind of go from where I stopped. Matt is saying, yes, the park is closed. It is. They're letting people through that are for evacuation purposes, or they were letting people through for evacuation purposes. But for those who want to be tourists and check out the park, it is closed. They need to leave that road available for the firefighters. Do you have any updates on the Hill fire? I did, but there's no new information coming in. Camp Viola. Randy's asking, let's kind of go here. Randy's asking, Highway 32, 36 are closed. What's the likelihood that they'll close 44? Very likely. If the fire continues to push northward, then they will have to close it down. But I don't know of any closures at this point. Christian Camp, Viola. I don't know where that is, but I can show you where Viola And I don't know if Christian Camp will show up on my map here, but I can show you Viola. And so you probably, if you know how the distance of Christian Camp to Viola, then you can do that. So from Viola, it's about 12 miles. Let's take you to the south of Viola, 10 miles, and all right. So again, Viola, just under 13 miles, if that answers your question. It looks like it grew to the west a little in the Derryville and Los Molinos area last night. I don't think it did based on the fire perimeter. No, you know what? It did grow a little bit to the west through the day yesterday, but not necessarily last night or into this morning. Let's see here. The latest operations map. Okay. Let me see if I can highlight that. Cancel. Let me see if I can highlight that and see. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I don't think I can. All right. Well, I'll take a look at that later. Thank you, Michael Douglas. I'll take a look at that here in a second. If you don't mind, maybe if that Michael Douglas, does that show the fire perimeter? Not the fire perimeter, but where the containment line is, because that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Is I would like to see where that fire containment line is, if they have one. So Michael Douglas, if you can, send me a personal message on Facebook, and I should be able to get access to that. 13 miles from Childs Meadow. Thank you, Matt, for answering that question. There's denser private property along Rock Creek. Good morning, Mike. Thank you. Humidity levels for the next night's going to be also wind. I covered that a little bit earlier, but if anybody wants me to cover that again, I will get to that. Let me just kind of get through some of these more recent questions. Yes, before the fire actually hit Shingletown, Matt Root, you're right. How far is the fire perimeter from Lake Macomber? Where isn't Lake Macomber? Lake Macomber is right by Shingletown, isn't it? Is that Lake Macomber? Let me Google that real quick. Lake. If I'm not, because I know Lake Macomber is kind of in the Shingletown area, right? Macomber, yeah, Macomber. Let's see if I can find it in maps. Give me a second here. Eastman Place, just north of Eastman Place. There's Camp Macomber. Aha. So Lake Macomber actually would be over, yeah, closer to Viola. Aha, okay, yes, let's take a look. There is the lake. I believe that's the lake right there. Yeah, I believe that's it. So let's do that. Let's take a look. I can still see it. There it is. There's Lake Macomber. All right, thank you. All right, cool. I thought it was closer to Shingletown, but I guess it's Viola. There's Lake Macomber right there, 12 miles. 12 miles, the north end of the fire perimeter to Lake Macomber. And I know there's a camping area out there as well. So there you go. That hopefully answers your questions. Montgomery Creek. All right, let's take a look from mine. Measure and delete. Montgomery Creek. There it is. See if it pops up. There we go, just barely. Take a look at Montgomery Creek, and I mean, heck, I've got over 30 miles from the very north end of the perimeter there. Shingletown, we'll do that again. About 7 miles of Shingletown. Wild Horse Sanctuary on Wilson Road between Manton and Shingletown. All right, Wild Horse Sanctuary between Manton and Shingletown. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find exactly where that is. Kathy Wallace, but I'm going to see if I can figure that out for you between Manton and Shingletown. So let's see if I can see any. If you have a Kathy, if you have a street, on Wilson Road. Let's see if I can find Wilson Road. There it is. There's Wilson Hill Road. So we've got Wilson Hill Road, but I think Wilson Hill Road is the one that goes down from Shingletown to. So Wilson Hill Road has a lot of, right? There's a lot of north and south. But let's just, for the sake of, you say it's between Shingletown and Manton. Here's what I want you to do. You can look at this map, Kathy, and you should be able to see based on, because again, I don't know exactly where that wild horse sanctuary is, but Manton, as you can see, is about 3 miles. Shingletown is about 7 miles. Split the difference in there. If it's closer to here, you're at about, what, 5.5 miles. If it's closer to halfway-ish, you're about 5 miles. If it's a little bit to the north of Manton, you're at about 4 miles. So again, 3 miles to Manton proper, 7 miles to Shingletown proper. So split the difference in there, anywhere in here. Because I did see Wilson Hill Road goes from basically Shingletown to Manton. And so it's really hard for me to get an exact measurement on that. But hopefully that helped, Kathy. Thank you for a good question. Michelle Slade, good morning. How are you? I'm back from vacation. We're going to have to talk again. It's been a while. We're going to have to kind of catch up here. Good. All right, Kathy. I'm glad that you got a thank you. All right, good. I'm glad you got the information needed. Michelle, just for you, let's do it. Did you already measure that? I think you just saw it. I did it. Let's do it again. To Manton, it is, about 3 miles. About 3 miles to Manton. Okay. That should do it. I am going to finish up here. I am going to stick around here for a couple of minutes. If you're just watching, or you are, watching and you have a burning question, let me know. But I am just going to wrap it up here. I think we have it all covered. As I mentioned, I'm going to keep watching for that containment line and where that 12% containment is, because that is an important piece of information. And once we can get that, then we can, get that all going. Michelle, you're asking how close to the Shasta County line. Where is the Shasta County line on here? I suppose it would be right around here. Usually people, I think it's... Isn't that the Shasta County line? I don't have the Shasta County lines in here. I don't have the... I should have the county lines in there. I do. Oh yeah, there's the line. There's the line right there. It's basically where Manton is. So the county line, Shasta County line from here, here's do the measurement. There we go. I mean, you kind of just follow where the Shasta County line is. There it is, about 5 miles. Shasta County line right here, kind of there. Shasta County line there. So there you go. Yeah, it's on the creek. You're right, it is. All right. That's going to do it, folks. If you're watching this and you're just missing it, ask your question now before I leave. Otherwise, I'm going to leave. I had some pretty good detail in there. You can go back. This is recording as I speak. You can go back, and I'm going to show you how you can get to it. I'm going to take you to Weather NorCal. You know what? Before we get to all of that, I want to show you how to find your zones if you don't know already. And I want to show you another great resource. Here's weathernorcal.com. If you haven't discovered the website, I want you to go to it right now and check it out. the very top, you've got the 24-hour streaming channel. At the very top right, this is the most pertinent information right here at the top. You've got the 24-hour streaming channel, and then to the upper right, you've got the latest weather forecast. That will always be updated to the latest forecast, so you don't have to go searching for the latest. It's always going to update there on the website. So Brian Wilson updated it this morning at 6 a.m. So that's the latest weather forecast that you're going to get is from Brian Wilson this morning. Brian Wilson, if you don't know, is my weekend meteorologist, and he does the weekends for me and fills in for me as well as I was on vacation the last week and a half or so. But there you can see here. Here's the fire danger section, folks. Go to it because it has a lot of useful information. This at the very top of it is where you've got the watch duty map. At the very top, you've got the watch duty map. This is going to be your best resource as far as I'm concerned to find all of the evacuation orders and warnings. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there are different resources for zones. Genesis Protect is a great resource. Unfortunately, not all of the counties are part of Genesis Protect. So you can go to Genesis Protect and then suddenly you're not seeing where your zones are. And then that's where things get a little bit more complicated. Now, Watch Duty has put it all in a nice convenient location for you right here. And you can see all of the evacuation orders and all of the evacuation warnings right here. Now, another cool thing that Watch Duty has done is they have put in here all of the different resources for you. The evacuation center. You've got a large animal shelter. You've got an evacuation resource hub. You've got more animal shelters. So if we go on here, there's actually a great list that they've made here, right here. Evacuation notes. Here we go. Right here. They've got the evacuation and shelter info. Tehama and Shasta County 211. They've got a link there for you. Tehama County Evacuation Resource Hub at St. Peter's Episcopal Church. I think that's how you say it. It's not an evacuation shelter, okay? They want you to know that, but it's a resource hub. Bella Vista Elementary School Evacuation Shelter. Butte County Fairgrounds Evacuation Shelter. Butte County Neighborhood Church Evacuation Shelter. Tehama County Red Cross Los Molinos Vets Hall Evacuation Shelter. Tehama County Red Bluff Elks Lodge RV Parking. There you go. Tehama County Moose Lodge RV Parking. Animal evacuation info. Anyone needing assistance with animal evacuations or animals that are sheltered in place, please call the North Valley Animal Disaster Group hotline at 530-895-0000. Butte County North Valley Animal Disaster Group, that is, small animal shelter. In Oroville, you've got one on 22005 Gilmore Ranch Road in Red Bluff. Shasta County Animal Shelter, 7449 East Side Road, Anderson, California. Space is very limited, so only those that are under an evacuation order can take their small animals to this location. Butte County Camelot Equestrian Park Large Animal Shelter. Again, you've got it all right here, and it's on the Watch Duty app section. So it has all, and you can kind of see, you can kind of click on them too. You see how it has it in there? It gives you, you can get directions. You can just click on this one here. You can get directions. You can go to the Los Molinos Evacuation Center. You can get directions, right? It has all the information about it. So this is another great resource. So that's where that starts. This is going to be your best, I think, resource for evacuation orders and evacuation watches as well. There you can see the Storm Prediction Center where, you know, some of the most elevated fire danger is, which good news, it's not over us. You can go down here, you can see another resource. You can click on the days to see where maybe some wind events may be or lightning strikes. Basically, if it's in the yellow or brown, that's just basically a low risk and it's nothing to be terribly concerned about. When you start getting into the oranges and red colors, that's when you got to, you know, be on the lookout for that. And I'll typically talk about that during my weather usually. No fire weather watches or red flag warnings. Good. Then, okay, so here is the Genesis Protect. This is the actual resource. Now, again, you can zoom in on this from weathernorcal.com fire page. Now notice, as you zoom in, once you get into Butte County, there are no orders or watches. And you're like, well, what about me? What about me in Butte County? Well, that's where I've got you covered here at Weather NorCal, because all you have to do is keep scrolling down, see where it says Office of Emergency Services by county. Now let me show you and walk you through it, because you may have been trying to find it but having a hard time. Butte County, right here, is Office of Emergency Services. I've got all of the counties that I cover right here. Click on the Butte County link. Now, it's not just as easy as clicking on that link, folks, unfortunately, but you have to go to Butte County map here, buttecounty.net, community evacuation maps on the left side here. Click on that. Now, you'll see community evacuation maps. Let me go to it. Let me find it here for you. Community evacuation maps. It's actually kind of right here. Evacuation zone map. All right, let's click on that. You're going to click on that. You have to proceed to the site. And then it's going to take a little bit of time to load, depending on how fast your connection is. And there it is. There is Butte County. Evacuation watches in yellow and red are where we have the evacuation orders. All right? You can click on all of these and get some more information on them, by the way. So it's very interactive. And so that's, I just wanted to show you that, because weathernorcal.com is, I think, a great place for you to start. And then you can go on the fire page here, and it's got a lot of great resources in here. And by the way, I'm open to suggestions on things you'd like to see on here, and we can certainly make this even better than it already is. And if you're on your phone, get the Watch Duty app. Just do it now. It's going to be your best resource for the latest information coming in from the fires. And a lot of time I can report that data from Watch Duty. All right. But that's what I wanted to show you, is just go to weathernorcal.com and check it out. Check on the fire page. It's a great resource. I think it's got some great links in there for you, and the works. Let's take you back home. Take you back home. All right. So there you go. Let's see. All right, let's do this. Some of you have been asking what the winds are going to be doing and what the humidity is doing, all that stuff. So let's get you to it, and we'll take a look at the forecast one more time before we head on out. Let's start with the smoke, and then we'll get to the winds and the humidity. So there's a look at the smoke this morning. As we go into the noon hour, most of the smoke is to the east. The yellows and oranges is mainly the haze. You might smell some smoke as you start getting into the yellows and oranges, and that's in Red Bluff, a little bit more dense later this afternoon and evening between Redding and Red Bluff. Then it kind of dissipates a little bit here for tomorrow morning. Not as bad. It's mainly to the east tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. There's Monday at noon. And heck, I've got it all on. I can do it right here. There you can see, of course, the smoke is mainly to the east. This is going to just be a lot of haze, probably not even the smell of smoke at that point. And then tomorrow night, 10 p.m., you've got some pretty dense smoke off to the east that may try to drift to the west after that. There's a look at the park fire. The winds this morning, not that much of an issue. Now, as we go into noon today, the winds, as you can see, are mainly blowing to the north and even just a little bit to the north and east. But it's not that bad still at the noon hour. As we go into this afternoon, though, they'll pick back up. But remember, the winds did pick up even yesterday afternoon. There were a few flare-ups, nothing major. And I'm anticipating that due to the fact that yesterday the winds were not that strong, humidity was better, we saw better conditions for the fire. I think we can see that again today. I don't anticipate any major flare-ups, but there probably will be a few that will flare up, and some smoke plumes. Smoke will still continue to be an issue, right? But then as we go into tonight, look at that. The winds are dying down again tonight. Tomorrow morning, winds are fairly calm, and then we go into tomorrow afternoon, the winds pick up. Looks like they're mainly due north. And again, breezy as we go into tomorrow afternoon, and then tomorrow night, the winds calm down. Looks like they're sticking around a little bit longer than we like to see through the evening hours on Monday, but for the most part, overnight, they should die down. Tuesday, look at this. You also look at some of the color codings here. We're mainly in the blues here, so that's in the 10-mile-an-hour range. We're not seeing much in the green, indicating 20 miles an hour. So Tuesday afternoon, the winds may be a little breezy in some spots, but not terrible. We talk about relative humidity recovery because typically at night in the early morning hours, we see the humidity recover. It goes back up. But in the afternoon and later this afternoon, here you can see we're back down into the teens. We go into tonight, tomorrow morning, good recovery. We're back up to about 70%. Now, just note though, as you do get into the foothills and in the mountains, we do see slightly drier conditions here. So that's going to be within that, say, 30-40% range to the north and east of Chico. So again, some recovery, not as good as we like to see, but then it gets very dry again going into Monday afternoon. Monday night into Tuesday morning, same situation, about 78% in Chico. To the north and east of that, probably within that 40% range where most of the fire is. And then going into your Tuesday at 5 p.m., humidity levels dropping again. In fact, they may even be a little bit lower as well. Do want to show you the fire weather risk, and this takes into account temperature, humidity, and winds. Now, due to the fact that the temperatures have dropped, the winds have dropped a little bit, and the humidity levels are actually going up a little bit in some cases, the fire risk for today is actually moderate. We go into tomorrow, gets a little bit higher in the moderate to high, but barely. And then we go into Tuesday, this should have updated mainly within that moderate range. So that's good to see that we're not seeing extreme fire danger out there. And this is big. This is huge. All right, so we got that humidity level in there. Yeah, I just covered that. Oh, what is probably the relative humidity now? Well, let's take a look at that. Let's get that in here. Let's take a look at current. No, here. This is a good resource right here. Let me go in here. Yeah, we're on the web page here. Let's go into. Let's see if they have a humidity instead of dew point. Dew point's a little bit more difficult for you to. Oh, there it is. Relative humidity. Let's bring that up. So these are current relative humidity values. This is Flea Mountain, PG&E. Right now, the humidity is at 29%. Let's kind of take you right here. This is Steamboat Ranch Road. We are at 30% there. But then look at this. This is just northeast of Chico. It's 72%, 64% at Paradise Humboldt Road. And again, kind of illustrating that we're seeing good recovery in the valley. But as we head into some of the foothills, we start seeing it drop down into the 30% range. That's not ideal. We like to see it higher than that, but at least there's some recovery there. The latest information that just came in from Watch Duty, let me just read for this to you live. In fact, we'll go to Watch Duty. I just saw an update that just came in. So let's see if we can see what that is. Latest update from CAL FIRE. This is just a minute ago. The fire is actively burning in heavy receptive fuel beds. This is no surprise. A lot of manzanita in that area. This allows the fire to expand rapidly. Okay, so it is. When you have all those fuels, even though we're not seeing massive winds and the humidity levels are increasing, we've got the fuels out there, and that can still allow it to do that. Warm, windy, and dry conditions will increase risk of extreme fire activity. Again, that's going to be later this afternoon. Similar to what the fire has done previously. There will be higher temperatures and lower humidities today. Yes, the temperatures are increasing a little bit. Humidity levels are dropping slightly, but not terrible. Now again, you can see the current acreage, yes, looks like that is updated. 353,194 acres total. In Butte County, it's at 52,000 acres. In Tehama County, it has burned over 3,000 acres. Fire Integrated Real-Time Intelligence System. It's known as FIRE. I don't know what you, but that's what it's saying. Aircraft is flying over the fire, mapping acreage, which will allow for periodic acreage updates. Threats to highway and major roads, portions of Highway 32, 99, and 36, and Cohasset Road. Highway 32 and Cohasset Road are currently closed and are impacting potential evacuation routes and commuter traffic for people who work in surrounding communities. We ask that the public continues to be diligent and prepared. Damage inspection teams continue to identify and verify structures that have been damaged or destroyed. The numbers of structures reported are expected to adjust as the team verifies impacts. So that's the latest that came in as I was kind of giving you some of the latest on the humidity levels. So again, humidity levels, not as ideal as we would like to see them, but that gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. The humidity levels are impacted, and that's why we typically like to use what's known as dew point, because that's a better measurement when we start relating to that of the temperature. But the cooler the temperature, the better the moisture content that we can typically have. It allows for more moisture content. Doesn't always mean that there will be a lot more moisture content. So as it warms up during the day, we start to see the humidity levels begin to decrease. And that's why we talk about the humidity recovery. Recovery is very important as we do go into the overnight and early morning hours. So that's kind of looking at the humidity levels right now. Basically in the vicinity of where the fire is, especially in the foothills and the mountains, it's mainly between 25 and 35%. That's what we're looking at with the humidity levels right now. That should cover it. Now, I do want to remind you that you can watch this over again if you want, very easily. I'm recording it. Just go to weathernorcal.com, click on Coffee with Krueger, and then from there, it will have the latest update that I did. And that was when I did I never did send that over from last night. I thought I did. But I didn't. All right, so I will be sure to put this Coffee with Krueger on here. Give it about 15, 20 minutes after I stop this live recording, and that will be uploaded there for you, and you can check it out. You can always kind of check back for that live Coffee with Krueger if you didn't get a chance to watch it. That's going to do it, folks. Let's wrap things up and call it a day. If need be, I will do an update again this evening, but we'll see. I may just have more information coming in. I've got a lot of stuff going on this afternoon and evening that I have to have covered since I just came back from vacation. If I have time, I will do an update this evening. I'll keep you updated and let you know. If not, we'll see you again here tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Things are back to normal. I'm back in town. I'm back home, and I'm from my studio, and we'll be live on Coffee with Krueger tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. In the meantime, that will do it. Okay. That is it. I was just kind of checking in. All right. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you, if not this evening, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.